Let's talk Jinx. For this episode, patch 14.6 notes, where League of Legends isn't dying or living or anything, but there is something interesting, even though it's not quite Jinx related, that we will talk about. Also, the High Noon skins are coming, and that's going to be fantastic. There are no direct changes to Jinx on this patch in terms of nerfs or buffs, but there are some changes to some other AD carries that will affect Jinx's laning phase, so let's jump into that. But before that, in case you are a newer player that does in fact use co-op versus AI, which makes complete sense by the way, there are some updates to their AI technology, in which case a few of the bots will be taking up things like objectives, jungling, and even ganking, to make it a little bit more like real games. The new AI mode in their worlds will provide newer players with a more relatable and realistic experience, while veterans like us get to have kind of a lower stress mode to enjoy. We can basically pretend to be like Faker. All of us have a little Faker inside of us. So Senna right now in Riot's words is in the right spot as a support, but a bit too powerful as a marksman. So the passive Myth Wraith drop rate is being decreased. Tell me if you heard this one before. Every time they basically nerf or buff this champion, that's what basically, it's like a lever gets pulled back and forth on that one, on the spawn rate being up or down. It was 8.3% and now it's 2.8%. Basically nearly a fourth of what it was before. So as Jinx, if you're playing against Senna, those souls are going to be dropping less, to the point you're probably going to see them as a support more than a marksman if it's too bad. But what it basically also means is you can take advantage of this as Jinx because nothing's changed on you, so technically it's a buff. I'm going to be that guy. It's technically a Jinx buff when one of the opponents you might be facing is getting nerfed. Unless you do the Tom Kench strat, that would be interesting. Smolder, which I like to say smolder. The Q execute threshold has been decreased, conditions adjusted, W width decreased, E movement speed decreased. Again, when other people are being nerfed, that means you're technically being buffed, but what it also means is these abilities aren't garbage. You do want to watch out for them. This matchup is a particularly interesting one, and we've talked about this before because both of them are relatively simplistic champions to use, with not a lot of like wild and flashy mechanics you really got to worry about when you're going against a Smolder or a Jinx, or if they're going against each other in this case, because you're going to be the Jinx and you're going to be winning because you're a winner. You're going to dominate. That's what you do. This is now a pep talk video. You're a great Jinx player. Yeah, you might have had a bad game a couple times. All of us do. Eventually, that's how the system works. It's going to make you have a bad game. You're still good. You're still a great Jinx player. You can do this. I believe in you. You believe in you. You just don't know it yet. Now, even though there's not direct changes to Jinx, the change I do want to talk about is they are trying to buff crit marksman overall, which in a way could be a direct change to Jinx depending on how you look at it. So, for example, Infinity Edge, the crit strike damage is going from 40% to 50%. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. If you build Navari Quickblade, the attack damage is going from 60 to 65. The item recipe is also changing, but the total cost is unchanged. Lord Dominic's Regards, the armor penetration is going from 30% to 35%. And Mortal Reminder, the armor penetration is going from 30% to 35%, basically just more damage for building your items across the board, which is why, with the matchups, it's a little bit of a dry, bare bones episode, you might be able to tell, but it's why I did things like the pep talk, or also just explaining how, like, it's going to be a buff for you, because Senna obviously can build crit. That's one of the things that she does too. Smolder can build crit, of course, even though with the AP scaling, some people are saying, yeah, mixed build is more of a way. So now it's even like a double dunk, if you will, if they don't build crit alongside with you. When you combine that with some bug fixes, the upcoming skins for Crystallis and Domitist Kha'Zix, that's a mouthful. High Noon Evelynn, which is a completely unfair skin. I won't elaborate why. If you know, you know. High Noon Gragas, High Noon Rel, High Noon Yone, Peacemaker High Noon Yone, and Prestige High Noon Evelynn. And you have yourself a completed patch for patch 14.6 of League of Legends. Everything else in these patch notes do not matter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. ggGetJinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.